Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today from Ukraine, everyone, and any other part of the world. Especially for Ukrainians, we're grateful for you to being here today with us, since the situation with communication and lights can be difficult today. So we're very grateful to have you. And today, our presentation about our live session inside Silicon Valley with our wonderful guest speaker, Meagan Abrahamsson. Thank you so much, Meagan, for being able to making it today. Very grateful to have you. I just want to say a couple words about Meagan and introduce her. She's originally from Michigan. Meagan now lives in Northern California, where she works as an international student recruitment specialist at San José State University. Her passion for cross-cultural education was shaped by her experience as an English language teacher for the last 15 years around the globe, including the remote English resident with America House in Kyiv, Lviv, and Odessa from February 2022 to August 2023. She's excited to meet with you all today to learn more about the opportunities that San Jose State University has to offer. So, Meagan, very grateful to have you today. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Mitro. My name is Meagan Abrahamsson. Mitro already introduced me, but I just also wanted to reiterate how happy and excited this makes me feel to be with the Ukrainian audience once again. And I hope that some of our usuals who would come to our programs with America House and know me from there. You want to type a message in the chat box to say hi and keep in touch that way. This presentation is not going to be about English or about American culture. It's going to be a little bit more specific about Silicon Valley. And I'm just so excited to have this opportunity to share with you all because especially after my experience of working so closely with Ukrainians for a year and a half, a couple of years ago, the feeling has always remained in my heart about how amazing Ukrainians are and how deserving they are of opportunities like this. So I'm so excited that I'm in a position to be able to continue to strengthen the connection between our two countries. And that the people are always different than what's going on that you can always see in the news. So yeah, maybe that we'll save that topic for another day. But anyways, we're going to be focusing on Silicon Valley, which San Jose State University is in the heart of. Our university campus is actually right in the downtown area, and it only takes 10 minutes in an Uber from the airport to get to our campus. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about the opportunities and our connection to AI and the future of technology in this amazing area. So yes, I have been the International Student Recruitment Specialist at San Jose State for the last 5 months. And it's a part of my position to be able to share information about our university, because I also wanted to ask you guys and to understand, has anyone heard of our university before? Honestly, we're not one of the top ones that you hear about in the news all the time, but it's once you get to learn a little bit more about it, obviously I'm a little bit biased to say, but it's actually quite impressive. And one of the things that I remember that stands out to me about Ukrainians that I was so impressed with right from the very beginning, and as everyone in America House, especially people working in IT, how technologically advanced Ukrainians are compared to Americans. And honestly, it's these kinds of basic skills. Even the Americans that I've known or working with, having basic struggles on Zoom. So I wanted to shout out all of you guys for that. What makes us special is our location because of so many tech giants in the area. And I will speak a little bit about the questions you guys might be wondering about, in particular about the tuition and scholarships, and maybe trying to understand if this could be a possibility for you. So we will talk everything about that, and finally have a little bit of time for question and answer at the end. Okay, so I think that California is probably some state in the United States that everyone is familiar with. But I would go off on a limb to say maybe you don't know where San Jose is located. So San Jose, the cities that we are familiar with in California are Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego. So yes, those are the big cities, and they're also very popular destinations. But San Jose is just located 1 hour south of San Francisco. So we're in the northern part of California, and we're called the Bay Area. So San Francisco is pretty much like at the mouth of the bay. And then once you go into the middle of the bay, that's where San Jose is located. And California state universities are public universities. So public universities, they might not have as high of a knowledge about the public universities as the private universities, but they also don't have as high of a price tag. So that could be seen as an advantage as well. And in the California State University system, which are 23 universities, San Jose is the oldest. And we were one of the first settlements in California, if you want to talk about the history of the United States going back to the gold rush. We have the highest enrollment out of all 23 schools, and the most diverse and largest international student body. So over international students representing over 100 countries. And we have many impressive rankings for when it comes to public universities because of our great degree programs. As mentioned before, the rankings, we have been ranked by froghire.ai as the #1 ranked international student employment outcome and value. So we're at, I can see the question in the chat box, we're about 10 to 12% international students. So there have been some discussions about having a maximum for that, and the maximum would be about 20%. That has been in the news recently. So we are not at full capacity for international students, but it is a good representation. And because of the diversity of the different cultures and languages you hear just from US citizens around the campus, it definitely feels like a very international place. So yeah, if you're interested, as I'm assuming, to, you go to university so that it can help you find a good job, San Jose State University really does a lot when it comes to helping with job placement after, and that's because of our location and our connection to all of these big tech companies that I'm going to be speaking about in a couple minutes. Okay, so just to map it out for you, Silicon Valley, maybe you've seen the TV show. But it is a little bit like that here with the competitive edge, because it's a hub for many people all over the world. And so we can start here in the peninsula of San Francisco, and that's where Salesforce headquarters is. Going down, excuse me, you can see all of the other international companies that are going down. YouTube, PlayStation, EA Games, Robinhood, Microsoft, Facebook, Meta, you name it, Apple over there, Netflix. And you can see our location where this Spartan head is. Then we're right down the street from Adobe. And Adobe, the headquarters there, it's 2 big buildings. I walked by it just last weekend. And the president of our university has been pushing a lot to create these partnerships so that if you're studying as a student in data science, computer science, anything related to what kinds of services these organizations are providing, there's usually some type of connection that will help lead to employment. So San José State University supports more than 25,000 jobs in California, and mostly right here in Silicon Valley. Oh, okay. So maybe this page didn't load, but we have also many initiatives that are going on right now. So there is a partnership with Adobe, as mentioned before. So it's kind of a creative competition that goes on between students, and it's kind of set like if you would have ever seen the TV show called Shark Tank, and you have some investors out there. So San José State University, they have a competition every year that is similar to Shark Tank, but it's obviously done on a local scale where students are able to pitch their ideas to local investors. And they have some pretty great outcomes. I remember reading about one in the news recently. There was one about your medical data. So how there's a company that one of our students founded in the area that won the competition maybe a few years ago, and they've gone on to start their own business about collecting medical data and having it all in one place. So that's one initiative that I've read about recently. This picture. I'm sorry that all of the information didn't load on here, but this picture is a picture of our Martin Luther King Jr. Public library. And some of you guys might have known that we just celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day last Monday. So in our library, we have, it's called King GPT. So it's kind of like an AI search engine and AI assistant when it comes to the library catalog. So if you imagine, just like if you're really into technology and you're interested in a lot of the experimental things going on with technology, that's really the perfect place for you, because you can see what other people who are interested are doing and have the opportunity to make those ideas come to life. So there are many opportunities to try out your ideas and to see if that's actually something that you can create. So it's very good for that. And hopefully we'll be able to share the slide deck, so you'll be able to get all of the information from the pieces of text and links here that weren't able to load. So sorry about that. Okay, so when it comes to career acceleration, We've been ranked #1 public university for most Silicon Valley hires by Business Insider. You saw the infographic before about for international students. And I think it's really important that we put that information out there because the competition is so high. We're called what's called an impacted school. And so that means that we, most of the time, our classes are full and we get more applicants than spots that we have. But I would say just don't be discouraged, because from what I've seen in my time here in this position, the amount of support that the admissions team gives international students is huge. So it just happened the other day, and I've seen it also quite often, is let's say you don't get into the major that you wanted. So number one, as an undergrad, you can apply for more than one program at a time. And if you don't get into your first choice, hopefully you will get into your second or your third choice. So you have the ability to sign up for without having to pay the same fees and all of that thing. It's $70 application fee, and that's for all of the CSU schools. So even if you don't get into your first choice, you are able to find a program that may be similar and be allowed to take some of the same classes. And then on top of that, after you complete those classes from the first or second semester, you can transfer, try to apply again to get into, if that's still your dream, to get into that first, let's say, computer science or data analytics program. Yeah. Okay, if you're in 10th grade and you want to study, I have a slide about the requirements for international students. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So at the moment, international students are not eligible for fee waivers. And but I'm in the process of talking to my supervisor to see if we can get some for Ukrainian applicants. So I'm literally waiting for an email back about that. I don't want to say get your hopes up, but maybe just wait for some more information about that. Okay, some more rankings. OpenAI, NVIDIA is also right down the in the same area. Plug and Play Center, we have a partnership with them. They are making sure that they're enhancing our AI landscape. Yeah, and 84% of graduates are able to find employment within 6 months of graduation. The average salary, it doesn't seem like a lot because that's for all graduates, for undergrad and grad. But obviously, if you study STEM or if you study your master's, then that number goes up. Oh, sorry, all the stuff didn't load. Okay, so what kinds of opportunities? If you make it past the application process and uploading the documents and the visa, once you get to the university, what kind of support can you receive? So for international students, we have this whole office called International Student and Scholar Services, which is a team dedicated to providing events for international students to connect with each other, to talk about, resume and career cover letter workshops, all of these different things. You can go to drop-in counseling sessions. You have one-on-one in-person counseling sessions, and we have many job fairs that are going on year-round. So actually, as an alumni of a university that's not San José State University, I'm a little bit jealous because I didn't get this stuff from the university where I graduated. So I'm not going to tell you how many years ago that was, but hopefully that universities realize that that is a big draw for students, both domestic and international. That's the whole point of spending all of that time and those resources on getting an education, is to hopefully put you in a position where you're able to, pursue your dreams. And yeah, that's another big question we always have here. Safety. It's in the last bullet point on the right: diverse, safe, and inclusive campus environment. We have a whole hour presentation, basically, and we spend a lot of time talking about safety, but the focus is not on that today. But we do have a webinar tomorrow if you wanted to wake up early for that. It's going to be at 8:30 p.m. our time, which is probably going to be somewhere around 7 or 8 a.m. your time on Saturday morning. But yeah, I can give you the details for that if you're interested. Myself and another colleague will be going more in depth about application processes and procedures, and what the timeline looks like, different application cycles, the stuff that we're not going to talk about today. But a big concern whenever talking to international students and even domestic students, especially with parents, is what does the safety look like? The United States news is not looking very safe right now. So how can we ensure that our son or daughter or grandson or niece, nephew, they're going to be safe? So San Jose is ranked number 1 in the safest large city in the whole United States. And that ranking was just given back in September 2025. So that has to do with comparing it to the other large cities in the United States, and the resources that we have for international students. I'm not sure if you guys have them in Ukraine, but it's very common on campuses around the US. There are these things, they look like maybe telephone poles, and they're blue and they have blue lights on them. So those are all around campus, and they have these big buttons on them, like they say call. And if you press that button, it goes directly to campus police services. There's always somebody on duty for that. Honestly, living here, I'm not in the downtown area, but I've never had any issues, knock on wood, with things going on. There's an app called Sammy, which once you enroll as a student, you will be able to have access to, where it's kind of like a social media platform that's just for the university students, where you can report things, stay connected, avoid issues, anything like that. So reporting, that's all I'll say about that now. Okay. Man, sorry, these text didn't download very nicely on this slide, so I apologize for that. But one of the questions in the chat box was about admission requirements. And so for an undergraduate, you have to have at least a 3.0 GPA. Not all programs require SAT or ACT. TOEFL, is coming out with I'm thirsty now. Thanks. Everybody take a drink. TOEFL has just come out with a new scoring scale. So it is required to take an English language proficiency test. We don't have an English language center at our school anymore. So it is something that you are required to have. Excuse me. So yeah, IELTS is 6.0. We also accept Duolingo. if this is an issue, I think Duolingo, the price for it is not too expensive. Maybe it's even you can find like some free vouchers online. And also, if there is a big struggle, we might be able to help out with some codes to try to get like a TOEFL test waiver, I guess it would be called. Yeah. So maybe you guys can send me a message about that. If you're a graduate student, you have to have your bachelor's or undergraduate degree evaluated by an international evaluation service. We accept WES, ACEI, ECE, and those will be sent directly from their website to ours. And high school diplomas will have to be sent into our email there that have to be sent directly from a school official. And I think if anyone has applied for a university in the US before, it's the same procedure for all university applications. But if you're unfamiliar with the process, oh, and this is a QR link to the application. If you are ready to go right now. Yeah, a little bit more information. This is always a big question for all international students and domestic students. We all want to say what's available out there. It's kind of like if you don't ask it, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So we do have a Global Spartan Scholarship that's just for international students. That one, you already have to be enrolled, which means you have to pay for the first semester. So that means for the tuition when you apply. Once you are enrolled, you can apply for this scholarship that can help you with the following semester and continue on with the following and the following. So you just have to do the first part. And there are other scholarships. So that one is just for international students. The other scholarships, we have the same kind of procedure where not after, it would be like to show the first tuition payment would have to be done by you. But if it's coming from the school, it has to be merit-based, which means your academic performance. You'll have to show that, you really want it. You have put in the effort in your studies so that, as mentioned before, we are impacted. So we'll have a lot of applications and it will be competitive. But last October, I went to the ceremony for the Global Spartan Scholarship, and there were about 20 students who had received the award. And so the funds that come for that scholarship come from applicants. So the numbers you see on the screen below, some of that money, not a lot, but it get in the fee will get taken out and it goes towards this scholarship so that it can help students who are going through hardship and difficulties. What's next? You don't have to get, I think that it's also important to understand, and I'm not sure if it works in the same way in Ukraine. Maybe somebody can tell me in the Q&A section, but scholarships can come from the university and they can come from outside of the university. So maybe this is where Mitro can tell us more. With Education USA, there are scholarships designated for Ukrainians that come from the US government. I remember that was there was a scholarship for teachers when I was an English language resident at America House a few years ago. I'm not sure if that scholarship is still available, but there are other opportunities. McDonald's has a scholarship. Adobe has a scholarship. You can look up use ChatGPT. What scholarships are there for Ukrainian students who want to study this program at this level at this school. And, you're already halfway there. So yeah, I think that there could even be all webinars on that. So I wouldn't get discouraged about looking at the price. I know that we have a lot of international students from India, for example. And yes, they do have family support, but something that I learned now as a kind of insider in international student recruitment is how many, and I'm not recommending you guys to do this, I'm just giving you this example, is there are many organizations or agencies that offer student loans, and the student loans are eligible for people from any country, not just from India. So there are providers. If this is really your dream, I'm not pushing you 1%, but and we're not able to give you the name of any. If this is something you want to do, then it has to be on your own accord. But yeah, just saying they do exist out there if that is something you really want to pursue. But I will say that with the experience we have from learning from students from other countries using loan providers is that most of the time they will get when you submit your application, you get a letter of offer. And then you take that letter of offer to the person who said, okay, maybe we will consider this. And because they see San José State University rank #1 for international employment after international student employment after graduation, then there is probably a higher likelihood of making that dream a reality, because they know that the return on investment is more likely. So yeah, all right, that's all we'll talk about that for now, because I know it's always such a big question. Okay, and I think that's honestly all from me. We have counselor, I'm finishing very early, but if you want to know more about our specific programs, do you have, physical, what is it called? Public health program? Yes. Do you have design? Yes. Do you have different kinds of programs? Because we have over 250, I can help you advise on that, but I can't give answers to specific questions. Like, for example, the entry requirements for graduate programs are all different. And we have many graduate programs. So I don't know the specific offhand, but if you scan the QR code from our brochures, these were just updated a couple months ago, then you will be able to have answers to all those questions. And of course, doing a quick search online, you will be able to find the answers to those questions. We do have a new virtual tour, this QR code on the bottom. If you wanted to, put yourself on campus, you're able to see exactly what it looks like. And yeah, if you needed more help, we offer one-on-one support through the whole process. We, as mentioned before, we have Zoom webinars for students. We're having one tomorrow my time, so it would be Saturday, your guys' time. I also have office hours, 2 hours to have like a Zoom call, actually going to be in a few hours. So from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. California time. So that's just, if you go onto our website and you click on, you want to go into this Zoom room, I will be available for 2 hours this afternoon to follow up and answer any questions. We have those sessions with other members of our team. If you're sick of listening to me, you can pick somebody else and they will be able to answer your questions as well. Yeah, our general inbox is global students, and I'm just really happy to have had this opportunity to share with you all about the university and also about our connection to Silicon Valley, because even as a Michigander, I wasn't really familiar with this university, to be honest. But that's why I was so excited to share with the Ukrainian audience about the opportunities and if that's something that you're interested in.
Megan, I'm so grateful for your presentation. Thank you so much for telling more about San Jose or Jose. I'm just so
Jose, in
Jose, right?
like the Spanish accent with the J's like an H.
I won't try Spanish accent. I guess I'm really bad at it because I never learned Spanish a day in my life. But San Jose University, thank you. You're a wonderful representative of the university, and we're very grateful for you to be able to make a presentation for us today. Please, dear participants, scan the QR code you're seeing right now in the left corner of your screen for the filling out of interest form. We'll be also very grateful for that. Thank you everyone for being able to join today. I understand the situation with light probably is unstable currently, so we're very helpful for the participants that able to join us live, and saying hi to all the participants that are going to watch the recording. I know a lot of participants are watching the recording, so we'll use your presentation for generations of students who are interested in San Jose University in the future. We have a question from not from the chat, but from our messenger chat from students. Do you have a performing arts program in your university?
Yeah. So actually, as mentioned, I'm not familiar with all of the programs here, but if I do a quick search, is it for undergraduate or graduate?
It's undergraduate question, yes. So while Megan is looking up, I'm just so grateful for every participant to join us today. As you've seen contacts of Megan previously, please feel free to reach out, and if Megan will be comfortable and have access to the information, and your question will appear. So please feel free to ask them. Also, please feel free to reach out to us. And I want to highlight what Megan said about finding out the additional scholarships outside of universities. Even if the scholarship doesn't meet your needs or requirements for you, please feel free to reach out to us. We will be greatly to help you to find additional scholarships that might cover your costs that will be not provided but by San Jose University or any other university you're interested in, but maybe there are ways for you to maybe increase the amount of aid you might receive. Yeah, and also please account for your family budget that your family can provide when applying to university. Megan, thank you also for highlighting the use of ChatGPT and artificial intelligence in finding scholarships, because sometimes we really suggest students to just research, use it like a search engine, because it provides really short information about what scholarship you can apply for. So please also use that. Back to you, Megan.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for highlighting that. And I also would like to make one more comment that I forgot to make when I was giving the presentation about the tuition prices earlier. With the quality of our programs is comparable to the private universities. So we're about 30 minutes away from Stanford, from Berkeley, and we have just, pretty similar rankings when it comes to the program, with about like a third of the price tag. So that's why I think it's kind of like a hidden gem or secret when it comes to that. So yeah, to answer your question about performing arts, we do have an undergraduate major. It's called theater theater arts. And what goes into it is production, design, musical theater. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope our students get the response, and we're very grateful again for you. I don't see any more questions in chat. You basically responded to all the questions from the user who was asking about your university. Dear participants, if you don't have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be gladly to help you to find more information about San Jose University, or research options for funding your education, or any information at all. Please feel free to reach us to us. To Megan, we'll be ready to help you. Thank you everyone for joining live today. Thank you for watching this recording in the future. For our future students in cohort programs that will watch this video, I wish you a great day for the USA and great evening for Ukraine. Have a great evening. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.